Good morning everybody, Calm Biker here, out on a Saturday morning. The roads are a little bit damp, which is a shame, but the sun's coming out, so maybe that'll dry it out a bit. There's no wind at all. It's been remarkably non-windy the last couple of days. Yesterday was fog all day. I was quite glad we haven't got that today. I'm going out for the most chilled of chilled out rides today. There's 4 of us going for a ride. I've got Jamie behind me, who is the guy that owned the ZX-6R, and then I'm meeting up with Graham and Chris, and we're going for a little ride around. But I thought I would tell you about Jamie's bike. He's riding today a lovely ZX-4RR Performance Edition, brand new. It's the Kawasaki screaming 4-cylinder 16,000 RPM engine, and it isn't today because it's got 3 miles on the clock. It's absolutely brand new. He got his license about a year ago. He's not really ridden, apart from on his little 125 that he had L plates on, because of those problems he was having with the ZX-6R. And that day we took it out, where we thought it was all solved, it all went wrong on the way home, which I didn't put in the video, but it started doing all sorts of horrible things, revving by itself, probably an air leak, to be fair, and probably quite solvable. I'll wait for him to catch up a bit, won't put any pressure on him. Probably quite solvable, but he'd had a year with the bike of nothing but working on it and not riding it, and he said, that's it, I've had enough, and he got rid of it. So he was a bit disappointed, quite unlucky you would say, with his bike, for it to have so many problems that it had. So he decided to get rid of it, and then he had a word with the mechanic that I use for MOTs to see if he had any bikes, because he sells the odd little bike here and there. He didn't have any at the time, but he said, give me your number, I'll call you back if I get anything that's suitable as a good starter bike. And he called him back the other day and he said, hey, great news, I've got an SV650, 20 years old, you can have it for about 1,500 quid. And he said, he's not, because he's running it in, he can't go fast, so now there's a 4x4 with a hurry on. We're going to get off this road as quickly as possible. I don't want to use fast roads today, because he's running it in, so he can't go past 4,000 revs, which he reckons is only about 40 miles an hour. And then we're meeting up with Graham, who's running in the CL, so it's definitely a slow ride today. I thought about bringing the Z1000, but then I thought, that's probably quite silly, isn't it? Having 150 horsepower when I'm with somebody on a 60 horsepower bike and 2 people who are running in bikes, I can't use them, so I brought this instead. Anyway, so yeah, so the guy rang him up and he said, yeah, I'll think about that. And he was thinking about it, and he said he was quite fed up with the whole bike thing. I think he might have got close to just giving up altogether with bikes, which would have been a real shame. So he said he was quite fed up with it all, and he said he'd never done it before, but for a laugh, he was on Facebook and he saw an advert for a raffle type thing, one of these, buy some tickets, you could win a house, a car, a motorbike. And he saw this one, and it was for a brand new ZX-4RR Performance Edition and £1,000 in cash. So he bought 4 tickets and spent 30 quid on tickets, and then he watched it live online, and they drew the ticket out and they read out the number, and he went, that's not my number. Yeah, you thought I was going to tell you he won, didn't you? So yeah, so he was a bit disappointed that they did it, because he said the 4RR was something he really liked the look of as a bike, and probably a good starter bike if you like sports bikes, you know, if that's your thing, then it probably is a good starter with, you know, 400 cc's and what is it, about 70 horsepower or something, 75 horsepower probably, similar to the XJ6 I had. So yeah, so he was a bit disappointed that he bought these tickets and he didn't have that number. But anyway, he carried on watching, and they said, oh, that number's not actually been bought, so we'll draw out another number. So they drew out a second number, and they read it out, and he said, that sounds like it's close to my number. So he looked at his tickets, and that wasn't his number either. I had you going though, didn't I? No. So what do you think he did? Yeah, well, yeah, obviously you want one of them things, you oh, I've lost him somewhere along the line. You head out and you buy one, don't you? So I guess that's probably what he would have wanted to do next, is just head out and buy one. Anyway, what they said on this draw was, nobody's bought that number either. So, keep an eye on this ambulance, it's probably coming down here, maybe not. Maybe not. So they said nobody's bought that either, so we'll have to draw a third number. So they drew out a third number, and it was his number. So he's riding a brand new ZX-4RR that he won in a raffle, believe it or not. Amazing. Completely made up for him. It's he had so much bad luck with that ZX-6R for him to win this kind of. I don't believe in karma and superstitions and all that kind of stuff, but if you did believe in karma, you'd say there's a bit of it going on there. And either way, just really made up for him, and it's a lovely looking machine. So this is the first time he's ridden it. He started it outside his house to hear it run, but he didn't ride it, and I was talking to him, I work with him, so I was talking to him and I said, you know, probably a good idea, you've not ridden anything with a lot of power. I mean, it's not got a lot of power today because he's only got 4,000 revs to play with, but you've not ridden anything with a lot of power, you are likely to drop your first proper bike because they're a bit heavier. You know, it's bound to happen, and most people drop a bike here and there. So you're probably a good idea to get some crash protection on it. So he bought some bobbins and whatnot and frame sliders, and I popped around the other day and helped him fit him because his torque wrench didn't have the right scale on it. So he's now got his crash protection on. Time to give the bike a whirl. And what better thing to do than a little ride out where we'll take some quiet roads that you can't go fast on particularly anyway, with somebody else who's running in a bike as well, so there'll be four of us being altogether sensible for this ride. Yeah, nice little story for him, absolutely thrilled for him. So I think he'll get a good couple of years fun out of that before he thinks about getting anything bigger, I reckon. Although to be fair, I think that's a bike he could probably keep for quite a while and have a lot of fun with. Can imagine that spinning round a track, having a bit of a laugh on it as well. Anyway, I'll end this one here. We're taking the slow route back, not using any of the major roads that are 60-mile-an-hour roads, apart from that one we've just been on. Just passing the Castle Hill Hospital here. What a kind of bittersweet place for me. Horrible, I had to keep bringing Mrs. C, I still keep bringing Mrs. C here for her checkups. This is where she came for operations and so on, for her latest round of cancer treatment. All clear now, thankfully. So we have to keep coming here, so brings back bad memories of having to bring her here for all that kind of stuff, but fantastic the treatment we got from them. Yeah, anyway, I digress. So, thanks for watching everyone. Ride safe. I'll probably stick a photo or two of the bike in at the end of this video for you to see it. It's a lovely looking thing. I'll talk to you all again soon. How is it?
Awesome.
It's not going. It's not doing that by itself. Why's that? I thought that was a sports bike thing.
Alright.
Alright, how are you doing?
Good,
Hey.
basically what I started out on, GPZ305.
Right.
It's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the 400. 16,000 revs, but he's only allowed to use 4.
That's frustrating.
Just a bit.